Welcome back to another episode of the Being Better Everyday podcast. Today, we are talking about a question that I get asked so often, and that is Pinterest right for my business? I am on a journey to get better in all areas of my life, and I want to do it with you. Welcome to the Being Better Everyday podcast, where we dig deep into all the things a millennial mom needs to know. From how to juggle your passions with your full-time job, to asking the hard questions about hormones and health, and learning from one another along the way. I am Julie Wenslick, and as a mom, business owner, and corporate girly, sometimes life can feel like a lot. So join me in the journey of being better every day, where we create habits and routines that support your life, create calm in the chaos, and put the you back in your everyday. Grab those headphones, put on your shoes, and join me on a walk while we get started with today's episode. And if you listen to other individuals, they will always answer, yes, of course it's right for your business. My answer is, it depends. It depends on your business. It depends on your strategy. It depends on whether you have the time to devote to it. So we are going to walk through some of the questions that I would ask yourself as you're considering showing up on Pinterest and how it may be right for you. So first of all, one of the most common questions, again, is Pinterest right for me? And the first answer or the first question you should ask yourself is your target audience on Pinterest? I covered this in the last episode, but almost 80% of Pinterest users are women between the ages of Gen Z and Gen X. And if your target audience falls in that realm, which I can't even imagine how many people that is, then yes, your target audience is on Pinterest. There are recently, it was announced, over 5 billion searches on Pinterest on a monthly basis with 450 million active users. It is absolutely a viable platform for you to show up. It's certainly not as popular as TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook, but it can absolutely still be worth the time to create and batch create content. But before creating an account, formulating campaign ideas, and finding room in your budget for potentially promoted pins, which yes, I do those with some of my clients, your business should consider whether Pinterest is the right platform to spend your time and money by looking at how your clients consume content, if your audience is searching for your items on Pinterest, and if you can actually benefit from connecting with your community on Pinterest. Again, I've already mentioned the primary users and whether they align to Pinterest. The second question is, does your business have visual content to share? Now, if you're thinking, I only have a blog, I don't have visual content, that's not what I mean. And actually, what you really should be asking is, does your business have long form content to share? This is one of the biggest reasons why I tell people that their business is not right for Pinterest. If you are a small business owner with just a website and Instagram at this point, no, Pinterest is not right for you. And I would even say if you're a small business owner with Pinterest, or not Pinterest, sorry, Instagram, a website, and a podcast, Pinterest is probably not right for you. Because what is your goal? Because if your goal is to drive traffic to your podcast, then okay, maybe, but you're less likely to find people who are searching for things to listen to on Pinterest. Now, if your podcast is repurposed into blog show notes, then absolutely you should be showing up on Pinterest. If you have an active blog, or even not even active blog, maybe an old blog that you want to re-energize, it does not need to be new content because it would be new to Pinterest, right? So if you have a blog, if you have a YouTube, if you have, again, potentially a podcast, those are going to be the optimal places, or products. I should also say if you have a product-based business, those are where, yes, it is going to be worth it for you to show up on Pinterest. Like I said, if you're only showing up on social media, or if you only have a website right now and it's not a product-based website, then I would say no, you need to have long form content first, and then you can show up on Pinterest. Now, then it becomes, well, are people searching for my long form content? And I would hope after my SEO series that you know the answer to that. If you are creating content, I recently sat in a meeting, so about a week ago of recording this, I sat in at a women entrepreneurships group meeting, and there is a coach, for lack of a better word, who helps women transition to major relationship changes. So like divorce, friendships, etc., basically empowers them to make those decisions and work through those massive changes in their lives. Kind of like a therapist, but not. And she started talking about how she writes a weekly blog, and the blog is only for her, and it's all about her life, and it's not about her services, her divorce services, etc. And it's just for her. And I used to also feel the same way about my blog. But here's the problem. Great if you're creating it because you think, you know, you want to show a little bit of more the human side of you and your business. But if you're not using keywords, no one's going to read it. So why are you spending the time writing it? You need to have keywords. You need to make sure you're optimizing for SEO. And that's going to be the same answer I'm going to give you for Pinterest. If you don't do the research to know that what people are searching for, there is no point in searching or showing up on Pinterest. So don't worry, we will do an entire episode on that. But I just wanted to mention that that is absolutely something that you should consider as you're looking through and deciding if Pinterest is right for you. Another question that you can ask yourself to consider if Pinterest is right for you is, do you create content or sell products online? Again, we've asked and answered that question. Is your business serving people only local to you? If you were serving only locals, then you're going to get less results on Pinterest. That doesn't mean that you can't, but I would absolutely make sure that your Google business profile is optimized first, that you're getting consistent reviews, that you're creating SEO optimized blog content where local headers are important. Again, you could, but you're going to get less results than people that have a broader audience. One of the things, back to search that you can think about is trying to figure out if the things that you're talking about are searchable on Pinterest is to actually go to the website trends.pinterest.com and you can put in keywords that will align with your business to determine if they are actually searchable. So, for example, I work with a Pilates client. Obviously, she's very Pinterestable. And right now, wall Pilates is skyrocketing. I mean, it's the beginning of the new year. What do we expect? But we're obviously going to optimize that and create additional pins with regards to wall Pilates because that is something that we want to capitalize on. But if you go to trends.pinterest.com or you go to Google and the things that you're talking about, like a random personal blog, isn't something that no one's going to search for, then why would you create pins about it? So again, you kind of have to think logically about what are you creating from a content perspective and is it searchable? That's why, again, if we look at the services that I do, it's all kind of intertwined, right? Web design, Pinterest, all of that all intertwines with SEO. Another question that you will ask yourself is, are you in a searchable industry? So there's going to be some major headliners here: interior design, weddings, workout, fitness content creators, food creators. Those are obviously going to get automatic check the box yes for showing up on Pinterest. If you are in more difficult service industries, you just are going to have to make sure that you're optimizing SEO and keywords and that you're kind of tampering your expectations. I had a user have over 1,000 outbound clicks to her website last month, but I've also had 150. And that 150 person is only 2 months into optimizing for Pinterest, but also she's a doula. And we're making sure as we continue to write new blogs for her website that they're keyword optimized so that they're searchable and that we can also get results on Pinterest. But we may never get the volume that a Pilates instructor would. But that doesn't mean that it's not successful. And I think it's really unfair for certain content creators that optimize or talk about Pinterest to be like, I get 50,000 external clicks a month. Well, yeah, you also have a following of 1 million people. It's just a different, if you have a large audience elsewhere, that's going to help you. But if you don't have a large audience, then yeah, it's going to take time. And just like every other content platform, just like blogs, just like anything else, Pinterest is the long game. It is not something that you can get immediate results typically, although I am getting immediate results with a client, not the point. Typically, we don't get immediate results. It is something that takes 4 to 6 months to catch on. So you do need to make sure that you're in it for the long haul. So with that, the question you need to ask yourself is, do you have the time and resources to maintain a Pinterest presence? This is going to be similar to any other social media platform in the sense that consistency wins, right? You need to show up consistently with 5 to 10 to 20 pins per day. And that might sound completely overwhelming, but with batch content creation and repinning strategies, you can absolutely still do that in less than 10 hours a month. Or you can just hire me and I'll do it for you. And that would be the resources part. My Pinterest packages right now range between 350 and 500 a month, which is actually below most Pinterest managers on the market. The fifth question you can ask yourself is, are you willing to invest in promoted pins? Now, I do not recommend this for everyone, but when you do know of something that is taking off, or if you're wanting to drive to a particular pin, particular event, you can absolutely get results with promoted pins. I've done it twice now for one of my clients. The average daily spend is around $7, and the average, unlike when we're doing low-key ad spend, we do $7 per day for 10 days, so it's $70. And in the last round, when we did that, we got about 500 clicks out to her website to the promoted pin, which again, 500 people added to your email list. I'm sure I forget the stat, but when you think about email list ads, I think it's like $2 per email or something like that. So, you get 500 emails, you times that by 2, that's $1,000 worth of emails, and you only spend $70 to get it. Now, that's not going to be perfect math because I didn't look up the marketing statistics on the value of an email subscriber, but you get my point, and I'm sure you've heard of other marketing people talk about the value of email lists. Number 6 is, do you have a clear strategy for using Pinterest? This goes back to what type of content are you creating? How often are you showing up? Do you have your boards optimized? Do you have your Pinterest profile optimized? Don't worry, a lot of that we'll cover in the next couple of episodes, but if you can't wait and you want to know all of those answers now, go to my show notes and download my pre-Pinterest guide, which will give you everything you need to know to start off right on Pinterest. Now, are there any other questions I think you should ask yourself? Are you already getting traffic from Pinterest? So have you connected your Instagram? If you haven't, I absolutely recommend you do that, even if you don't have long form content. That will help drive and analyze for you, right? Whether you are getting results or, creating content that might be engaging to those on Pinterest. Have you asked your clients if they're using Pinterest? Almost 90% of people on Pinterest have bought something from Pinterest. I myself do that all the time right now for fonts. Being a branding person, I would look for recipes, obviously, all the time. I plan my wedding through Pinterest. What else did I do? I don't know. But, you certainly do see things on Pinterest. I think I've definitely gone out to blogs if I'm scrolling on Pinterest looking for something else and I see a blog that interests me. Their algorithm is pretty smart. So, it's certainly something that is worthwhile. So today, we didn't talk about how to set up your account or what your profile should look like. We will touch on that on the next episode. But one of the things that you would want to do to maybe take a baby step in preparation for next week is set up your Pinterest business profile, claim your website while you're doing that, add a professional picture, probably something that aligns with the rest of your social media platforms in order to create ease and recognition. And then what you can do is optimize your bio and display name with keywords. So what I mean by that is my Pinterest name doesn't just say P&W Designs. It'll say P&W Designs Branding, Web Design, and SEO, or Pinterest Management. I can't actually tell you what my Pinterest profile says, but right now I'm going to go do that after I finish recording. Your bio, right? Go to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT, hey, this is what I do, XYZ, help me write a Pinterest optimized keyword bio that explains to the pinners or the users, right, what I do in a short and concise and friendly, approachable manner. Make sure that if you want more details on that, again, go to my Pinterest guide. It will talk through all of it and show you examples. But make sure that you have your about section actually filled out, that you have a profile picture, that you have a cover image, that you have your website linked and all of your other social media platforms. And then next week, we will dive into actually optimizing your profile further, as well as setting up your Pinterest boards. So thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of a guide as to answering, is Pinterest right for your business? If you're ready to dive deeper and ensure your Pinterest account is optimized for maximum impact, I'd love to help. My Pinterest audit optimization service is designed to take the guesswork out of your strategy. Or if you're ready to outsource Pinterest altogether, we can take the reins and help you get started in seeing results. So head over to my website, bypwdesigns.com/Pinterest services. Let's just go to bypwdesigns.com, scroll down, find Pinterest, and don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, share this episode with your fellow entrepreneurs who could benefit from showing up on Pinterest. And I hope to hear from you soon. Until next time, happy pinning. And that's a wrap on today's episode of the Being Better Everyday podcast. Thank you for listening. I truly appreciate each listener. If you've enjoyed the conversation, I'd love if you would leave a rating and review or share it with your bestie to help me reach more women looking to ask the hard questions and live above that status quo. To see any visuals, head over to my YouTube channel. Links, socials, and resources mentioned can be found in today's show notes. If you're looking for more, you can find me on Instagram at julie.pw designs, sharing the behind the scenes of my everyday life as a millennial mom, corporate girly, and small business owner. Until next time, keep on taking one step at a time towards your version of being better every day.